Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Last Minute Kickout. As always, I'm Pete Titans Creed Nevercoat, joined by the magnanimous John Turbo Finley.
Greetings.
And the ever delusional Kevin. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing well.
So, the last time the three of us got together was for WrestleMania predictions. How well that worked out, boys. WrestleMania is my backyard.
Until the final two matches, no, it wasn't.
Well, it's all that matters. The final two matches. Yes, we are here to do our WrestleMania talk about stuff thing, as we are going to be breaking this down into part 1 and part 2, much like how WWE did due to the current world situation. As fantastic as that is. Hoorah. General thoughts before we dive into part 1, gentlemen?
Part 1, no, I've got plenty before we dive into part 2, but do we think that overall, do we think this worked?
Yes.
Yeah, because if this was a one-night event, this would have been over 7 hours.
I feel like there are certain situations that would have played out differently if there was a live crowd. I feel there are certain things that have worked better because there wasn't a live crowd, but I feel this heavily edited show made for better watching rather than a live show where we would nitpick all the fails, and that has generally come to be the way of things.
A WrestleMania with them literally having like 2 weeks to consider everything did get rid of some of the bullshit as generally associated with WrestleMania. Unfortunately, the runtime wasn't one of them, even though it was over 2 days. But
I much prefer the shorter 3-hour shows, though.
Oh god, yeah, it was actually manageable. But I think that when it comes round to 37, everything will be like even worse than it was before, because lessons that needed to be learned this year will not have been learned.
I guess we'll see when 37 comes around.
3 hour.
If they pick up anything from this WrestleMania, is that if they want to have it that long, they need to do it as a weekend thing, and I think that's better for everything, because I feel like they can just pad it out and like make it feel a little bit better as 2 smaller shows, rather than 1 7-hour show where I want to kill myself at the end of the 5th hour. But yes, we're going to talk about part 1. Let's get the bad stuff out of the way. Rob Gronkowski hosting WrestleMania and joined by his friend Mojo Rawley.
Yeah.
If you stuck with it after that, well done. You get our congratulations, because goodness me, was that a great selling point to switch over.
I'm guessing more than anything that this is very clearly an American thing, and the Gronk is someone that the Americans enjoy. But as someone not from America, I honestly don't care.
Well, prior to this, his only other appearance in WWE TV was during the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal a couple of years ago, to help Mojo Rawley win the bloody thing.
Eventually, when he managed to disentangle himself from the security guard.
Yeah.
I do get that, but all I'm saying is that it just doesn't feel... Having a host of WrestleMania that appeals only to one demographic of your audience, one demographic of your audience, is a bit... like, at this point, I wouldn't be too far hurt from the fact of having like The Rock come back and host a show, even if it means that they build up to another WrestleMania thing for the next year. Like, I'm just saying, at least everybody knows who he is.
And at least 10 minutes will be taken off the card while he lights his own name on fire and does some bullshit with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, but that was less harmful than interfering in a championship match and setting yourself up for top billing on the following year.
The two following years.
Yeah.
But yes, after that we had the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, defending the women's tag team championships against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Yes.
I actually enjoyed this match myself.
Same.
They worked. They made it work. All four of them, especially Asuka. Like Asuka, yeah. How can you not like Asuka in any way?
Asuka just screaming at the cameramen, screaming at the commentators, screaming at Kyrie.
She has to play to someone. Might as well play with the limited audience that they do, which is all the work staff.
She's having a ball out there. It was great. It was it was a fun opener. Nikki still seemed to think there was a crowd there, but it's Nikki Cross, so it's kind of acceptable in a way.
Yeah,
Nikki Cross. She's mad.
She's got all up there.
She's seeing an entire crowd just full of ham sandwiches out there. That's all she's seeing.
She's the real Scottish psychopath in WWE.
Yes, she is. She should have that nickname. Very much so. Maybe they could have a nickname on a pole match or something. But it was decent enough match. Bit of intensity, a bit sloppy on a couple of occasions. A couple of really there was one specifically very brutal cut.
Oh yeah,
which
very very noticeable when we saw
very
it.
Noticeable.
It was basically when what was it? Someone got I can't remember who was get the pin. It was like Kairi Sane coming up from the top.
It was 1, 2,
and it's like 2 seconds later,
elbow.
Elbow.
There's no way on earth. But it was all rounded off with a twisted bliss to lower shins
On Kairi Sane,
yeah, which of course, as we know, is Kairi Sane's weak point, and if you hit that, you get massive damage. So yeah, but it looked bad.
It wasn't exactly the best placement.
It's one of those things where, like, because that's the thing. Because if it is going to be pre-recorded WrestleMania, there's no excuse for those sort of things. You can just go and reshoot it.
True.
If you're going to have it as recorded, so if it looked noticeable and it just come off the big cut as well, so it was a decent enough match, but there was a few issues here and there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Next, the resurrected Elias versus ours, yours, and everybody's favorite King Corbin.
He's as opposed to any other King Corbin that we know, presumably.
Wow. I just kind of have to.
Yeah,
we've
got to put him over. Put him over somehow.
Make the point that you all should bow down to your once and future king.
He's not fucking Arthur. I mean,
I'm
King
waiting for
Corbin
I'm waiting for him to come.
I'm waiting for him to do. Table.
I am waiting for him to do his own cinematic masterpiece of wrestling where he goes to the Lady of the Lake and get Excalibur. I'm waiting for it.
You know, you'll get that, and you'll get. You remember, the Simpsons episode where Barney does that like art house style film about how he has drunk. You'll end up with that. The King Corbin just him with a monologue in black and white. As he gazes at his crown and wistfully wishes for the title, but then Roman Reigns punches him.
It's very much a piss break match, essentially. This match is literally just to have Elias and Corbin on the card. Like the build to this has been incredibly strange. Like Corbin killed the man legitimately.
Paralyzed for life, at the very least.
Yeah. Like that promo was still better than when Gronk was trying to force the match. So Yeah. I mean, Elias won with a roll up and pulling the tights, I think.
Yeah.
While Corbin did his standard, I'm going to argue with the ref and
Corbin did it and got caught. So and Elias did it and got away with it.
Yeah.
It's a feud that we desperately needed at the moment.
Oh, absolutely.
Cheer everybody up.
110%.
Distract everybody is what we needed. Was Elias versus King Corbin, everybody. And damn it, that's what we're going to have.
Oh yeah, because I definitely like my WrestleMania to be going in second gear. And being
it's all right. We'll go from second gear and we'll put it all the way into reverse because I know on this next match you've got something to talk about. Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler for the Raw Women's Championship.
Mr. John,
take it away.
John Finley, the floor is yours.
What? Oh, it's me on this front. Wow. Okay then. Well. Obviously, this was the start of my rapid fall in the predictions, of course. And yeah, surprise, surprise. It's like Vince McMahon still doesn't have any faith in Shayna Baszler, even though they tried to make some sort of a match out of this. And yeah, it's basically what happened to Shayna against Io Shirai in Takeover that one time. Or was it Kairi Sane? I can't remember who it was. It was like
probably both of them, frankly.
Probably both. And yeah, it's just like you build up Shayna Baszler as this dominant force, and then you completely, make it irrelevant to give Becky the eke out win with the Brett Roddy Piper finish from WrestleMania 7, 8. I can't remember which one it was. 8.
I think it was more. I think it was more done to the point where everybody thought that Shayna was going to walk in and win the belt, and so the easiest swerve is to leave it on Becky, and then give Shayna something like Money in the Bank to take it when she wants it. When they decide they want to put it on her, Well,
that's what it's looking like now. Yeah, but no. I mean, the match was pretty much all of Shayna Baszler up till the last few moments. Mm-hmm. So
the problem is that it's left nobody on the women's division who can essentially say that they can fight Becky now because she's beaten everybody.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where Becky's saying that.
Mm.
I think what we kind of agreed, didn't we, just in the predictions, that it had to go two ways. It had to go one of two ways. If either Shayna had to just absolutely dismantle Becky and win convincingly, or she had to absolutely dismantle Becky and then Becky just snuck it somehow.
And that's what happened.
Well, no, we kind of got them on the equal footing, I would have said, more than anything. It's certainly a lot more equal than we expected it to be. In terms of being able to sort of Becky was able to hold her own, and was, it wasn't like Becky's in trouble, really.
Mm-hmm.
It was more sort of like, this is a challenge for Becky, but Becky's up to the task, and that wasn't anything we were expecting. So we got the situation now where obviously Becky gets her year with the title. I take my Vince McMahon card out from the table again and put it back in my pocket for a later date. But hey, he's got plenty of time now with the XFL. So we'll be seeing more. Oh, that's the good thing to get used to, folks. We've got more Vince McMahon interfering with shit now, because the whole point of it, he's taking a bit of a step back so we can concentrate on this. Well, fucking hell, COVID-19's buggered that up for everybody. So, yeah.
If you didn't hate the virus enough already.
that and the two other Vince McMahon related things, possibly 3, depending upon whether or not you bring Dark Side of the Ring into it. There's so Becky wins, goes on to continue her somewhat heelish promos.
Dominant reign.
Talking like an arsehole. Dominant reign. And no one's left to challenge her. Introducing Ronda Rousey. No. Yeah.
Don't think we're going to be seeing her anytime soon.
Shall we talk about a match which could have been better, but I think just fell apart?
Yeah.
Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship.
We had such hopes.
Mm-hmm. I was really hoping this was going to be a really good match if they'd just given them about like 15, 20 minutes and whatnot. However, we forget that in this storyline, Sami is the chicken heel, and he has an entourage that has his back and will cause many problems. And of course, that was the case in this match, where for the first, 5 minutes, it was just basically Sami just being the chicken shit heel, just like going in and out and whatnot. And then Brian would get some we'll have control for it with Gulak taking care of the extras of Cesaro and Nakamura. And then, you get a couple of good spots, and then, boom. And it's like a very weird haluva kick from the top rope, or like from Daniel Bryan coming from the top rope into a haluva kick. And it's like, that's your finish? Okay.
It would have been good had it been pulled off smoother. But and again, I think the crowd, if the crowd had been there, it would have been a bit more of an atmosphere, and it would have felt more like a finish. And it didn't feel like a finish. It felt like he's countered that nice. Yeah, it was really weird. I quite like the beginning, actually. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I think it was right. It felt very slow.
It felt very slow, but it fitted in so much with Sami's character currently. And it was legitimately in terms of the match, pissing Brian off, and it was working. Also, one thing we didn't mention also was that the pre-show match, which was Cesaro and Drew Gulak, was sort of obviously a feeder into this as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a little bit of follow through with that.
I see that was a match that should have been on the main card.
Yeah, bloody good match as well.
I mean, it was short, but it had a really good finish to it, with Cesaro proving his strength yet again by having he's like, "Hey Ma, no hands!" airplane spin on Gulak.
It's Cesaro. He can do whatever the hell he wants. It's in that ring, absolutely anything.
But yeah,
was insane.
But this match, it could have been better, but
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. I want to get your thoughts on the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, defended in a single triple threat ladder match of John Morrison versus Kofi Kingston versus an Uso, as commentary like to keep calling them.
An Uso, yes. They are interchangeable.
Apparently so.
I think it was Jimmy.
No, it was Jimmy. Yeah, no, it was Jimmy Uso. Yeah.
And just to confirm, that was John Morrison and not The Miz.
It was also Kofi Kingston and not Big E.
Oh, we knew it was Kofi Kingston.
Just in case you couldn't tell.
No, we knew it was Kofi Kingston. But Morrison and Miz, you squint. Could be either of them.
One's got long hair.
Nah.
One's also the Hokage.
Nah.
Oh god.
Hey ho, only one of those.
Hey ho. Hey hey. Ho ho. Miz and Morrison, let's go. That song is banging, by the way.
You were saying about their music video as well being really good. I still haven't seen it.
It's so good.
the amount of people seriously pissed off that WWE Music put that up on YouTube and done all these other various themes that people have been asking for. The amount of heat that Miz and Morrison got because of that alone, well worth it. This is a really odd situation, as we know, brought on by the fact that Miz was ill, and then the Usos were angry, and then Roman Reigns pulled out of WrestleMania, and then all sorts. Has there ever been a situation where where tags were defended with one member of the team in a triple threat?
We've had tag team matches where
it's been a
partners have
situation.
Been well. There's been handicap situations. There's been partners who've been switched out, but no. In this case, I think this has been, in just by my top of the head memory and whatnot, this has pretty much been the only time singles competitors were competing in a tag team division match. So it's weird.
That said,
but other than that,
said, bloody good match.
Yeah, I would say it's top contender for being like match of the night one, at least of night one. Definitely one of the best matches of the night.
It's very good. It's very good to watch.
Like the spots were great, and of course, because of the environment that they were in for this, from what was talked about in reports and whatnot, they had a lot more leeway with the spots and the safety that came with them as well.
Because we had a superplex to the floor, which obviously crash mats presumably off screen, but which is something that never happens. They didn't have to worry about where the ladders were going. They didn't have to worry about where anything else was going because there's no crowd. They don't have to care about if you're gonna do a bridge. Where's the debris gonna go? There's not that element in there. So it was pretty hectic. We got to see the creativity of John Morrison as well on a number of occasions, doing really weird things, and also a very unique ending, very unique finish.
I don't know if it has been used before, but no,
it hasn't been used in that way. Not with the hanger.
Yeah, with the specific WWE hang, with everybody getting it. It's like, well, what? I love the fact there was about 30 seconds of, well, what do we do now? It felt quite real. It's just like, wait, we've all got it. No, wait, no, I got it. No, we've all got it. What do we do then? Fight still, I guess.
I was kind of half hope, like I had it. It's like a forgotten thought on the back of my mind, and it's like I was half expecting one member of one team will get one belt, one would get the other, and then they both rip them off, and there you go. You got like tag team champions. Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
Have the Usos and the New Day have to
work together
again. But it was one of those things that Morrison won via. Well, he was the one holding onto the belts.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, technically, he did drop them.
Yeah.
It's like, but he landed on that ladder.
He landed on the ladder. He's allowed to. I like the fact that also it was the what had happened previously in the tag team matches prior to this, and obviously the beginning of the match as well, where it was the Usos and the New Day with their respect working together, and it's that cost them the match. Because they worked together and they knocked off Morrison, and Morrison had the belts, and Morrison and Miz won as a result. Yeah. And again, it's like Morrison sort of, he's won, and he's won the war, but not the battle in this instance. And you got Kofi and Jimmy just both on the ladder still at the end, just like going, what the hell did we do then? And sort of semi-blaming each other, but only half-heartedly. It was just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I do like this situation where Miz and Morrison keep getting put into more and more ridiculous defense situations. I think,
and still getting out of it somehow.
Yeah,
which is good. It's good booking. It puts you. it helps the heels in this instance because they're battling through this even by hook or by crook or by luck.
Yeah.
It's still making. They've got big defenses in WrestleMania, in ladder matches, in street fights, in whatever else they're going to do. And it does sort of put that on there. And of course, as the fan, back in the days where you still cheer for the face and boo the heels, obviously. But you've got the fans, obviously, this growing frustration because they're not, because they are getting away with it, and it just builds the heat. So it's all good. But yeah, really nice. John Morrison doing crazy shit again, walking a tightrope for a Hurricane Rana, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, like he was on the rope for.
He
for
didn't straight
Rana.
up. He didn't rush it. A la, what's his name from TNA?
Jimmy. Oh, I'm trying to remember who. Oh,
what's his name? Pentagon's brother.
There. The other half of the Lucha Brothers.
Because he does his sprint along and then hit. But it was like a proper tightrope thing that was more slower, and as a result, it looked a bit more dangerous. So it's
fair enough.
Things. But yeah.
Indeed. Next we have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. What was essentially a 2 out of 3 falls match, I think, at the end of this.
On the predictions, folks, after the match was restarted, we basically said that all bets were back on. So everybody got 2 points off of this match.
Essentially.
Which made no sense at all, really, because obviously...
No, it didn't matter.
We all voted the same way. So,
yeah.
But it was like, hey, we get 2 points off of this instead.
But yeah, very weird how it kind of like... Yeah, it's like the match was doing all right, and then suddenly, surprise, DQ, ding, 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 Kevin Owens is your winner.
It was just ding.
Yeah, the thing I don't get with this is that part of the build up to this match was Seth Rollins giving one of his best promos that he's ever done in saying that he's a winner and Owens is a loser, even though Rollins lost one of his first WrestleMania matches, but then proceeds to go and get himself disqualified by smacking Owens with the ring bell and therefore making Owens the winner and Rollins the loser. Like I don't get it.
You're right.
He's a delusional heel. That's what he is. Because he's also a delusional religious nut as well. Calling himself a messiah.
As I've said before, this bootleg straight edge society. No, it didn't work for me.
And he's not the messiah. He's just a very naughty boy.
Allegedly. It just didn't work for me at all.
No, this match was a letdown.
Yeah.
It was only good for after it went into no DQ territory, and you had that one spot, which was Kevin Owens jumping off of the WrestleMania.
I would have been happier if they had just built this as a 2 out of 3 falls match to begin with, because then Rollins smacking Owens with the ring bell would have made sense. I'll take a DQ to
get a pinfall win
advantage. No, then he doesn't need the pinfall win. If Owens still pulls it out, that makes it even better. But if it was billed as a 2 out of 3 falls, Owens taking an intentional disqualification loss at the beginning makes sense because you're dealing more damage specifically.
It's like, I don't think without the crowd, Owens' demand for the match to continue doesn't work. Because, he's won. Who cares? He's won. He cares. With the crowd, though, it's like, oh no, you're not going to get away with this. Without the crowd, it's just like, you've won. Who cares? The whole situation with the fact that it was basically the entire match was to give Kevin Owens this WrestleMania moment of jumping off a sign because he wants to be in the club with
Well,
Shane.
there was no Shane McMahon, was there? So
Yeah.
There's no Shane, so he had to be because we know he wants to he's wanted to jump off something big for a while. That's been well documented, but it didn't do any favors to Rollins again. It really didn't do any favors to Owens either. It was like, oh yeah, he got caught out and got clocked with the ring bell, and oh yeah, he jumped off something. The match itself wasn't all that to write home about.
No.
Everything in between the spot, the DQ, and the beginning was it was very, very average.
Yeah.
It's
a shame. It's honestly a shame because both guys have put on such stonkers before in matches.
And I was invested in the storyline a little bit as well because I wanted to see Kevin Owens like really put it to the the heel. But
you know what? In hindsight, it feels like that match almost as much as the Boneyard match and the Funhouse match felt very scripted. It felt very much a by numbers. We go this move to this move to this move, which of course most matches are in one way or another. But it didn't feel as natural as some of the other stuff on the card. Don't know why.
Anyway, after that, there was a small segment of R-Truth with his 24/7 championship with the Gronk and Mojo Rawley.
Only good thing about this is that R-Truth got a payday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mojo Rawley basically got Gronk off of R-Truth to win the title.
Oh, thank God you finished that sentence.
Yeah.
And didn't set up something for the next night at all.
I know, right? Yeah. So, the penultimate match of day one. Goldberg versus Braun Strowman in a standard match that you would get if you played any WWE video game, where they just fire finishes at each other. And yeah,
it is literally a match that I would have had in SmackDown. Shut Your Mouth, where everyone chose their character and gave themselves 5 special moves to just shoot on one after the other on each other. Yeah. It's just...
So yeah, Goldberg came out, got paid a lot of money, hit a bunch of spears. Braun Strowman hit what keeps being called a running power slam, but is not. a random stagger of 2 steps and then doing a power slam move is not that
running.
It's not running.
Yeah, it's a 2 steps forward is not running.
It's a adjust your weight and then fall. It's not. but by all means, commentary keep saying that it is. And it's like
or
the devastated thing in the world where it's basically just a normal move that somebody does. It's like it wasn't even a power slam. It's just like a scoop slam. It's just very slow.
If you want to make it fancy, just call it the waltz slam.
The waltzer.
The waltzer.
Da, 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 da.
But yeah, this was nothing to write on about. But I was kind of like annoyed by the fact that Braun Strowman, after one day of build, gets the title because Goldberg has fulfilled his contractual dates that he was wanting to do, and of course with the current situation that we're at and whatnot, he was going to drop the title no matter what.
He was indeed.
And I should have seen that. Which I'm a
the
fool.
The old swap rule. If somebody's swapped in, they win the title.
Yes. Moving finally onto our latest bit of cinematic wrestling. I was going to say first, but then I actually forgot that there was actually a Matt Hardy couple of
that never happened, Pete.
What never happened?
Never happened. This is the first time this has ever happened. WWE.
Okay. Cool.
No. There was no Matt Hardy. There is no Matt Hardy, and there never was.
Well, before this match, we did have the New Day versus the Wyatts at the compound.
That is true.
And we had
though it was shit.
And we had Wyatt versus Orton, and less about that, the better.
Yes.
The Boneyard match, which was essentially a buried alive match, which we all thought it was, between AJ Styles and the Dead Man Incorporated.
Yeah.
The Undertaker.
Biker Taker!
Booger Red has to come back.
We didn't mention in the Kevin Owens match, though, the most entertaining part of the night for us, which was discussing all the various matches on KO Mania. Kevin Owens taking on Kevin Owens, the battle for Kevin Owens. It was just I'm gonna put that up as a clip at some point because it is just so freaking funny.
Did you back that up? Because
I backed it up. I backed up the reactions just in case.
Oh god.
But yeah, the saga of KO Mania and John just ever so slowly losing the will to live as me and Pete won't let it go.
It was 3 o'clock in the morning, guys. So you weren't making it easy on me.
Yeah, and you know who was fighting at 3 o'clock in the morning? Kevin Owens.
Shut up.
But yes, the Boneyard match. What did you think of this, Pete?
It was entertaining. That's all that needs to be for me.
You are such a simple man.
I am.
He's a simple man with simple tastes.
What was the most
Undertaker on a bike?
Or when it ended. So I could go to bed.
I think we were all flagging a bit at that point.
Yeah.
It was odd.
Oh.
It
was odd, all right.
Having him be a mixture of Phenom with magical powers and Dead Man Inc. was very bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of liked it. It was hokey for all the right reasons it needed to be hokey.
And especially probably this is like the first buried alive situation where the Undertaker didn't actually get buried this time around. Except
that did happen once before, but that was a tag team match between him and Big Show versus Rock and Sock, I believe, and Undertaker won thanks to Triple H hitting Mankind with a shovel into the grave and then burying Mankind. Triple H won that match.
Shocking, of course.
In a battle between 4 other people and him not being involved, he won.
But yeah, it was kind of weird with several of the stops. I mean, you had the OC, Gals and Anderson, having as backup for AJ and whatnot, and then they just have they have control of the Druids.
Druids.
And it's like, what? It's like,
and every punch was fuck. Every punch was a sound effect.
They were really going into cinematic mode in this thing.
Apart from when the camera went behind the bust and it revealed the fact that it was all wood made out of wood on the table.
Yeah, I think it's like not learning from all those years. They have a bloody movie studio, and they couldn't get any of their producers or filmmakers from that studio to help in with the production of that. I mean, come on, really.
All they needed to do was literally nail a piece of MDF to the back, paint it grey, stick some moss on to cover the screw holes, as opposed to just showing the inside of the hollow thing and all the wood still there.
Although I did like the story of what was it for the ending of the match. AJ Styles got buried alive, and whatnot, and the hand that they had, apparently it was just a hand that they found. It's like prosthetic hand. They randomly found.
We found a hand. Didn't think. Oh no, that's unusual. Making good use of the things that we find. Uncle Bulgaria is in charge of production on this one. Everybody. I quite liked the. Undertaker's wheezing.
He's chat. I think he got that acting lesson from Shane McMahon there. I think.
Yeah, I thought it was that. The bit where I like the whole "oh no, Taker's gonna be buried alive," and then just like, "oh yes, the hocus pocus," as Pete said. And, "oh look, he's behind him." AJ reacted to the whole match, I think, really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
AJ's facials and the emotion and everything that was going on. I like the fact that we kind of got teased the Jeff Hardy rub. In terms of right at the end, saying, "I'm not going to bury you. It's fine. You really fought, kid," etc. And then just turn around and sort of you could always see in his mind, like, "Wait, he insulted my wife. Fuck you!" Put the big boot in.
I'll definitely say after this match, I think AJ wants to go into filmmaking a little bit more and go into another acting role, because I'm sure he's been in acting roles before during his TNA run and whatnot. But no, I think he really wants to get back into it because he was having too much fun, I think.
Of the people involved in it, I didn't expect AJ to be the most natural fit. But it really felt that way. So, but everyone sold like crazy. Everything, apart from the whole, samurai film segment in the middle of it, with these.
Oh God! It's like now you're making me picture the Kill Bill soundtrack being inserted into that little segment. Well, no, it's more of like dun, 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 dun. And it's like
all the classic stuff.
Indeed. Right. But yeah, that was day one of WrestleMania 36. Initial thoughts, marks out of 5. John.
Okay, out of 5 for night one. I'm gonna give it a 3. I think it's like there was a couple of matches I enjoyed, like some of the outcomes, although some were meh. But yeah, I mean, I didn't hate the show. Like, I wasn't outright hating the show like some people probably were, kind of like looking at this and whatnot. Although one thing we did forget to say about in the commentary booth, by God, JBL never come back to the booth again, ever. But still, I'm still gonna stand by my guns and say at least a 3.
Mr. Kevin.
For night one.
Well, I thought I was going to be the most hard on this. It was just very disappointing. Very disappointing, very average, and all in all, I'm not quite sure where they were going with several of them. The ladder match stood out. I'm going to give it a 5.
Wait, out of 5?
Oh, are we giving it a 5?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I thought 5 out of 10. In which case, this actually makes things a little bit easier. You get a wonderful.
I'm going by that. Yeah, I was gonna say
2.
It was either gonna be 2.5 or 2. So
2, actually, on saying point for the 2 good matches.
I'm going to give it a 3. It was enjoyable. It was middle of the road. It could have been better, but it could have been a lot worse.
Bloody hell, if it was any more middle of the road, it'd have white lines over it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been day 1 of WrestleMania 36. I've been Pete Tights, Good Navigate. He's been John Turbo Finley. He's been Kevin, the Kevin Eva. You can find us on all social medias as per normal. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you for WrestleMania Day 2.